Hello everyone, this is Reuben. I am back again with another Reuben report. Today I am installing the surprise upgrade that I was talking about in my last video. And today the surprise upgrade is going to be installing some auxiliary lighting. When I previously installed the LED light bulb quite a few weeks back, using the LED light bulb that's in there, it is adequate enough for in-city lighting. When you have access to street lights already, and when your area is already well lit, it does a decent job. But there's also parts of my commute where street lighting is not so visible. And I'll do a test later on tonight when it's dark out. But just to show you, give you a proper perspective, what I'm talking about, which most people also talk about with this headlight as well. It projects itself quite far, but there's this gap from basically in front of my wheel well, or in front of the wheel, until maybe this dirt here. There's that huge gap that just doesn't get lit up at all while I'm riding, and that's pretty dangerous, because I want to be able to have a very well lit area at all times. So this is why I'm deciding to go ahead and install some auxiliary lights. I bought these off of Amazon. I've heard quite a few good reviews about these. The issue with this kit, though, is that when you get it, this is pretty much all you get. So the actual cable, or the actual wire length, is not very long. And installing it up here, it's not going to reach towards the back of the bike. However, from my previous installation with the heated hand grips, the heated hand grips that I bought came with a really long cable, and I was fortunate enough to trim that cable down and use that excess cable now for this job, which is right here. So that, plus the accessory wiring that CSC also provides, is definitely going to be enough length to be able to reach the accessory plugs. And if you are wondering where your accessory plugs are actually located, they're on the left side of the bike, tucked underneath here. I don't know which one is A1 or A2. We'll have to figure that out. But either one of these is your accessories. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get this thing wired up, and we'll see how it looks afterwards. Alright guys, so far I think I got the lights wired up the way that I wanted them to. On the CSC website, they don't necessarily state which wire is positive and which one is negative. That would be very helpful. But I do know from my previous install with the heated grips that the brown wire is supposed to be the power wire, and the green wire is supposed to be the ground wire, and I hope that's still the case with the auxiliaries. When it comes to wiring this thing up, pro tip, if you have these little, for the focus, if you have these little crimps, that'll be really helpful. I used 2 of them on this one. That was mainly to put both of the lights together into one spliced wire. But I ran out of them, and if you don't have those crimps, you can still wire them up the old-fashioned way by just exposing the wires, wrapping them up real good, and then covering them with electrical tape. That should work just as fine. I did that with my heated grips as well, and it worked out just fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap that in some electrical tape, put it onto the bike, or just hook it up to the bike and see if it works. Alright, I got it plugged in now, and here we go, moment of truth. Go ahead and fire it up. Let's see, A1, okay, and A2. Alright, they work. Great. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that one A2, and that way I'll know the difference between them. And yeah, there we go. We got it working. I'm going to go ahead and try to mount it onto the bike and route the cabling, and I'll be right back with you guys. Alright, man, I am back. I got the lights mounted onto the bike. I did not put them in the proper orientation yet. I'll do those type of adjustments later. But I just got them tightened down in the spots, mainly these brackets, where I want them to be. And then we will do adjustments, mainly with these bolts here, to either make it go up or down or left or right. Yeah, that's how it looks. As far as cabling or the wiring, so on the back you can probably see, maybe not, but with this wire I just made it go along this crash bar, and on the other side I did the same thing, made it go along the crash bar, and then they meet going up this way, and they just go along the frame on the left side. Okay, keeps going along the frame, all the way back to here, where you have your accessory plug-ins. The tutorial says that you need to remove the gas tank. It's not really necessary. You can just, route it the way that I did, or you can route it some other way if you choose to. And yeah, it still works. Fire it back up. And boom. And like I said, I'm gonna have to adjust the orientation in a bit, but wiring is all done, and I'm going to go ahead and put the bike back together. You definitely do have to take off the fenders, which is, it's kind of a pain. It's a pretty intensive job having to take off the fenders on both sides to really get things tightened down. But yeah, that's why it was taking me so long. But I'm gonna go ahead and put the bike back together. Probably try to get them as straight as possible, and then we'll wait and see. Do a little test once it gets to nighttime. All right, be back soon. All right, everybody, I am back. It is now nighttime, and I'm going to show you the difference between the installed LED headlight and the new floodlights that I installed, and we'll see the difference. Okay, so generally when I ride, I don't ride with the low beam headlights. I generally ride with the high beam headlights. So let me go ahead and turn this on. One moment. Okay, so with the low beam headlights, you guys see the cast that the bike has. It's quite wide, but it goes maybe to the end of the driveway. The front here is pretty well lit up with the low beam. Focus, please. All right. But there's a couple little dark spots. So there's a dark spot maybe there, a dark spot maybe a little bit over there. Okay, but again, I don't generally ride with the low beams on. I usually ride with the high beams. So riding with the high beams, as you can see, I get way more distance and way more focused beam. But what it does is it sort of leaves this pocket here. And when I'm actually driving, this pocket it's pretty dark. And so I wanted to fill up that pocket of space with the auxiliary lights. And so now I'm going to put the auxiliary lights on, and boom. So now I have a much brighter path. I can see what's directly in front of me. I can see all the way from what's directly in front of me all the way to way beyond my driveway. So this upgrade has definitely been an excellent choice. I could play around with them a little bit because I think they're just a little bit too close together. I might widen them out a little bit more. But overall, they're doing their job. They're flooding the area right in front of the bike just like I wanted. But I'm definitely going to try to move them to the sides a little bit more so I can cover up this area over here and cover up that area over there. Okay? Alright guys, I got it set up now. So I got the left one more to the left, the right one shining a little bit more to the right. Now we have a full coverage area with the high beam. I get a much wider area of coverage. No blind spots. It's going to be a lot better being able to see at night. Alright guys, thank you guys for watching this video. And one thing I do want to note about these particular lights, if you want to purchase these, the lights themselves, well, it's really hard to see, hold on. Alright, so the lights themselves, they only come with, you know, the light housing and this metal bracket. So this bracket that attaches to the actual crash bar, you have to buy this separately. And I'll put a link to all the stuff below, you know, in the description, if you're interested in this set. But, damn, that's bright. All right. I'll see y'all later now. Peace.